What caused the Mugello mayhem? Hello, my name is Alex does F1 Stuff and welcome back to another random F1 episode. And I didn't think I was going to make a separate video about this, but I feel it kind of needs to be made, but also just to sort of enlighten people and add another opinion to the pile. Whether that's what's needed, I'm not 100% sure. I'm just going to throw my facts and figures out there. And as we have all probably seen by now, the mayhem that ensued after the safety car restart. 4 cars involved and 4 cars crashed very, very heavily. And those were, of course, Kevin Magnussen, Antonio Giovinazzi, Nicholas Latifi, and Carlos Sainz, who ended up injuring his wrists. I don't think too badly, but was left a little bit sore. And as you can see, indicated by light panel number 1 and light panel number 2 all the way at the top, there is currently a safety car that has been released. However, on our board here with Romain Grosjean, we can't actually see any of the light panels as currently there is a car in the way that's been raised off of the ground. But if you look at this onboard from Valtteri Bottas, who has yet to reach the safety car line, or has literally just passed the safety car line. 3 cars are past this safety car line. Valtteri Bottas, Lewis Hamilton, and Charles Leclerc. And you can see quite clearly that there is a green flag, but then there is a massive gap all the way from the racing point back to the car in 6th. And it was these gaps that caused the issues. And you can see even before Bottas has reached that line that you can just see on the left hand picture, the second line that he's coming up to, you can see it in the right hand side, the crash has already happened. So if I just pull up the official track map released by the FIA in their events notes document, I think it was document number 7, along with the Mugello weekend, I think off the top of my head, we are coming out of turn number 15, just going past light panels 17 and 18, which indicate the pit entry status, onto the just over kilometre long main straight. So let's just take a look at that main straight in a wee bit more detail. We have light panels number 17 and 18 indicated on the far left, the safety car first lap, safety car line number 1, the safety car race at the start-finish line, the pit lane ends and safety car line number 2, along with the pit entry and exit and the blue flag marshal as well. And as indicated by this black arrow, this is the location of the start-finish line, safety car line for the race, the safety car race, and then also light panel number 1, which was shown as green as the safety car had come in, which dictates or which informs Bottas that he is now the safety car, the de facto safety car as the commentators like to call it, and he is then able to dictate the pace and he is able to go whenever he likes before he reaches that line. And that's exactly what he did. He was not doing anything wrong. He was not stopping and starting, stopping and starting. He was just weaving. That's all Bottas was doing. He was continuing at one constant speed, weaving left and right, shortening that straight into turn 1, as you do not want to start any long or any shorter before you have to, if that makes sense. You don't want to power out of the last corner and go along that whole kilometre long straight just in case you get a crap exit before you even need to start, and then Hamilton's going to have a nice slipstream to storm past you. Whereas if you start halfway down the straight and punch it out of the line, you've only got half a kilometre of straight to go, which is even less time for Hamilton to get past. And then as indicated by the sort of turquoisey arrow, this is exactly where Bottas and that first group of 5 cars were located, exactly where the crash happened, indicated by the red arrow, roughly here. So the result of this crash was due to the safety car line being at the start-finish line. It should have been moved all the way back to here, on the exit of the last corner, because then Bottas would have happily bunched everybody up. Everybody would have been nose to tail because they want to get that slipstream. They'd have then powered round the last corner, very, very similar to a qualifying lap, where they go super slow into the last corner, and then about halfway round, they punch it to start going down that main straight. And that's exactly what would have happened had the safety car line for the race restart been at the pit entry or on the exit of the last corner. The trouble with having it down where it was, down at the start finish line, is that you're going to have everyone trying to be a little bit sneaky. And what I mean by a little bit sneaky is they're going to try and fall back just a little bit so they can preempt the green flag racing from the car at the front, so they can then start accelerating technically before he has gone, before the first car has gone, and then he can have a bit more of a momentum advantage over the car in front and propel himself further forward, which is exactly what we saw drivers doing behind the top 5. And apparently, looking at the Sky race control board, the big tablet thing that Anthony Davidson pushes buttons on, it was allegedly caused by George Russell. George Russell was one of the first people to actually create one of these larger gaps. And Nicholas Latifi was complaining on his team radio of people doing exactly that. Stopping, starting, going up to racing speed, stopping and starting, and he just assumed, because it was the cars in front, that because the cars in front were doing it, it must have been caused by the car at the very front, which was not the case. And I've just gone back to some pictures of the incident so I can talk just a little bit more about it. It was the whole concertina effect which led to the incident. You had cars that were inside the top 10 that were behaving sensibly, and then you had cars within the midfield that were trying to gain a small advantage. And once they realised what they had done, they tried to dart left to avoid the slower moving car as they're already at race speed, which means the car behind the one that has just darted left is not able to react in a quick enough time in order to avoid the incident, which is exactly what happened to Carlos Sainz. In his post-race interview, he said that the 3 or 4 cars in front of him were already going, so he went. And he was already at racing speed exactly when the 2 cars in front of him peeled the other side of an extremely slow moving car, and he had an accident. And the only way that that can be fixed is to move the safety car race line or the safety car race restart line back to the pit entry or the exit of the final corner, and not have it all the way halfway down the straight, as that's exactly what the race leader will do. They will bunch everybody up because it's advantage to them. They don't want to start any sooner than they have to along this kilometre-long straight, giving the advantage to all the drivers behind them. They will want to make this straight as short as possible, and that is exactly what Valtteri Bottas did. And I suppose that is all I've got for you today, guys, for this little informative video. They needed to fix it. They really need to fix this issue. There's no issue with the protocols of the restarts or anything like that. It's just the safety car line was in the wrong place. And with that, that's all I've got for you today, guys. I hope you have enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next video with whatever and whenever I decide to make it. I'll see you guys then.